In a village nestled by the great Zambezi River, there lived a young woman named Grace. She was known throughout the land for her voice, a voice so pure and beautiful it was said the birds would fall silent just to listen. Grace sang from sunrise to sunset, her songs weaving tales of joy, love, and the beauty of the world around her. She sang praises to the Great Spirit, the source of all life, who she believed had gifted her this voice. Her heart was a fountain of gratitude, and every note she sang was a drop of thanksgiving. Word of Grace's enchanting voice spread far and wide, reaching the ears of a wealthy merchant from a distant city. Intrigued, the merchant journeyed for many days to hear her sing. When he finally heard her, he was captivated. He approached Grace with an offer that made her gasp. He wanted her to come to the city, to sing in the grandest halls for kings and queens. He promised her riches beyond her wildest dreams, gowns of silk, jewels that shimmered like the river at dawn, and a life of unimaginable luxury. Grace, who had known only the simplicity of village life, was dazzled. The thought of such a life was intoxicating. She pictured herself adored by crowds, her name whispered in awe. The merchant's words painted a picture so vivid, so tempting, that the quiet gratitude in her heart began to be drowned out by the loud roar of ambition. She agreed, and despite the sorrowful goodbyes of her family and friends, she left her village, her heart fluttering with a mix of excitement and a strange, unfamiliar emptiness. In the city, everything was just as the merchant had promised, and more. Grace became a star. Her voice, once a gift shared freely with her village, was now a commodity sold to the highest bidder. She sang in opulent theaters, her voice echoing of gilded ceilings. She wore the finest clothes and ate the most exotic foods. She was surrounded by admirers who showered her with praise and expensive gifts. At first, it was exhilarating. The applause was like a powerful drug, and she craved it constantly. She worked tirelessly, pushing her voice to its limits, always seeking more fame, more wealth, more adoration. The simple songs of gratitude she once sang were replaced by complex, dramatic arias designed to impress, not to connect. Her life became a whirlwind of performances, parties, and fleeting praise. But as months turned into years, a strange thing began to happen. The joy she once felt when singing started to fade. Her voice, though still technically brilliant, lost its warmth, its soul. The songs felt hollow, and the applause of the crowds no longer filled the growing void within her. She had everything she had ever dreamed of, yet she felt poorer than she had ever been in her simple village hut. The fountain of gratitude in her heart had run dry, and now it was filled with the bitter dust of loneliness and discontent. One evening, after a particularly grand performance, she stood on the balcony of her lavish apartment, looking out at the sprawling, indifferent city. The jewels around her neck felt heavy, like stones. She thought of her village, of the river, of the baobab tree where she used to sing just for the joy of it. She remembered the faces of her family, their love untainted by her fame. She realized she had traded a priceless treasure for a handful of glittering trinkles. She had wandered so far from the source of her gift, the source of her joy. Her heart ached with a profound sense of loss. That night, she couldn't sleep. The silence of her room was louder than any applause. In the quiet darkness, a faint melody surfaced in her mind, a simple, gentle tune from her childhood. It was a song of thanksgiving to the Great Spirit. As she hummed it, tears streamed down her face, washing away years of pride and forgetting. They were tears of regret, but also tears of longing, a deep, desperate yearning to return home. The next morning, Grace made a decision. She packed a small bag, leaving behind the silk gowns and shimmering jewels. She left the grand city without a word to anyone and began the long journey back to her village. The path was arduous. She was no longer used to walking long distances, and the comforts of the city had made her soft. There were days she felt like giving up, days the memory of her fame called to her like a siren song. But the memory of the river and the baobab tree was stronger. Finally, after weeks of travel, weary and humbled, she saw the familiar smoke rising from the huts of her village. Her heart pounded in her chest. She was afraid. Would they even recognize her? Would they forgive her for leaving, for forgetting them? As she walked into the village, an old woman looked up from her weaving and her eyes widened. "Grace," she whispered. Soon, the whole village gathered around her. They saw not the celebrated star from the city, but their Grace returned home. There were no recriminations, only open arms and tears of joy. Her family embraced her, holding her as if she might disappear again. That evening, as the sun set over the Zambezi, Grace sat under the old baobab tree. She took a deep breath and she began to sing. It was not a performance, it was a prayer. Her voice, stripped of all its artifice and ambition, was purer and more beautiful than ever before. It was filled with the pain of her journey, the humility of her return, and the overwhelming gratitude of being home. She sang of her wandering, of being lost and found. She sang of the Great Spirit, the eternal fountain of blessings, whose stream had finally drawn her back. Her voice, once a tool for fame, was once again a vessel of pure, unadulterated praise. The villagers listened, their hearts full, as Gracie's song filled the air, a testament to the truth that true riches are not found in what we possess, but in the source from which all good things flow. She had wandered, but the cords of mercy had pulled her back to the fount of her every blessing. If you know that God is the fount of every blessing, please join me to sing this timeless hymn.
Come, thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me song, the glorious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount, I'm fixed upon it, mount of God's redeeming love. Here I raise mine Ebenezer, hither by thy help I'm come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God, he to rescue me from danger